cash. If we don't allow the cash to disappear, they can't do it. Challenge your boss. If you're asked to do something which you think, oh, that's a bit odd, and I'm thinking planters to close off roads. I'm sure there's loads of other things you can think of. And use local retailers rather than the online multinationals. So that was my first thing, don't comply. Number two, consider actually going along to a council meeting. You might all go, oh, I never did this before about a month ago, because I want to find out who my enemy is. I want to know what to talk about behind closed doors. And it actually demystifies the whole thing. We need to show the council that we're taking an interest in what they're actually planning and what they're discussing. Most meetings... Yes. Absolutely. Yes, well the global is going to local. They've literally bypassed the national government. Absolutely, you're spot on there. Most meetings are open to the public and it's often possible to ask questions. I've asked a few questions and they don't like it. In fact, they told me to shut up. I must have been asking the right one. So how to do this is how to do this, how to approach a council if you've never done it before. I'd never done it before and we just went along. Lucky we had somebody who'd worked for the council and she helped us. But I work for a company, no I don't. I volunteer my time, quite a lot of it, with UK Citizen, and we've just put together a starter pack And it literally is just taking good practice from across the country to create an easy to read, quick start, how to get involved in your council and find out stuff that's going on. Essentially, you can quickly find out by putting calendar in the search box of your local council's website. Executive board meetings, cabinet meetings, full council meetings and community committee meetings are all useful. However, the community committee meetings are the really good place to start, as they're all the councillors from the area will be available to talk to you, and also from planning departments, transport departments, waste departments, all sorts of people. So that was number 2. Consider going to a council meeting. Number 3, educate yourself. As I said, we've been working for the past few months and we've researched a huge number of documents. C40, the Arup document, living in a 1.5 degree world, the absolute zero, all sorts of things. A strategic partnership agreement between the United Nations and the World Economic Forum, which was signed in 2019, something the MPs of this government do not want you to know. But we've done all the hard work. We've even been in touch with Sandy Adams. Do you know her? Went and spoke to Glastonbury Town Council. Went viral. I've spoken to her. She's brilliant. She's been at this for 15 years. She's impoverished herself to make sure the information gets out to people like us. We've summarised the main documents to make it easier so you can get a quick start. So, when you've learned and you've educated yourself a little bit, go and speak to other people, ask them what they think. And that includes your local councillor. They're not all bad. I've had a few good conversations with some that aren't my councillor, mine are not good, to be honest. But I've spoken to a few, particularly the independents or the opposition party. And spread the word. And do not be put off by people calling you far right or a conspiracy theorist, because all that is to do is to destabilise your confidence. And that's what we need to build. Is our confidence that we stand in the truth of what we're speaking. Stand firm in your beliefs and consider joining UK Citizen. I'm not here to push it, we don't take anything, it doesn't cost anything, but we have groups all across the country, and that's how I've managed to get in touch with a lot of people working in other areas. So in short, they can't build what their prison around us by themselves. Imagine Klaus Schwab driving a digger. He'll be there on his own. They need your support to enslave us, so don't give it. And encourage others not to give it either. Thank you very much.
Benefits of drinking iTerra Care water. Best when warm. Increases alertness level. Fuels the brain. Reduces sickness. Strengthens the immune system. Reduces toxins in the body. Hydrates the body ultra fast. Reinforces health. Weight loss. Improves complexion and skin radiance. Neutralizes free radicals. Increases cellular oxygenation. You can charge water with it. And for more information, www.thzhealth.net. Although I'm not, that might be from America, but there is one up in Scotland that sells them as well, if you are interested. Having these problems: insomnia, low libido, back pain, arthritis, skin problems, dizziness, colds, flu, incontinence. iTerra is a combination of quantum technology, terahertz technology, optical quartz technology, THZ lightwave energy, activates normal cells, repairs damaged cells, recognizes and destroys abnormal cells, detox lymphatic circulation rapidly, stimulates beta circulation rapidly, removes deep tissue coldness and dampness rapidly, strengthens the function of organs, delays onset of aging symptoms, can help increase the healing mechanism in your body. The MMS Handbook. Your Health in Your Hands. Paperback, softback, New Oswald. And if you don't know about MMS, it's a cure for just about everything. And yes, it has been known to cure cancer as well.
Doctor, can we talk about cancer a little bit? Various types out there. What are some of the things that you've seen in terms of your patients, and what some of the things that you've been able to do?
A better thing to talk about in relationship to, well, I will talk about that, right? A better thing to talk about, however, is the relationship between profits and cancer in the United States. And there was a study that was published, I believe it was in 1994. It was a 12-year program, 12-year study. They looked at adults who had developed cancer as an adult, not childhood cancer, but adult cancer, right? And this is the main types of cancer that we get here in the United States. They did a meta-analysis of these people all around the world who developed cancer as adults for 12 years and were treated with chemo. And they looked at the results. And they published the results in the Journal of Clinical Oncology. And the results? 97% of the time, chemotherapy does not work. 97% of the time it doesn't work. So why is it still used? It's one reason and one reason only. Money. If you go to a medical doctor, an MD, with a sinus infection, and that doctor prescribes an antibiotic, he gets no financial kickback. Now, if he prescribes 5,000, of that antibiotic in 1 month, the drug company that makes it might send him to Cancun for a conference, right? But he gets no direct remuneration. It's not with chemotherapeutic drugs, it's different. Chemotherapeutic drugs are the only classification of drugs that the prescribing doctor gets a direct cut of. So if your doctor prescribes chemotherapy for you, here's how it goes, more or less. The doctor buys it from the pharmaceutical company for $5,000, sells it to the patient for $12,000, insurance pays $9,000, and the doctor pockets the $4,000 difference. And there ought to be a law. The only reason chemotherapy is used is because doctors make money from it. Period. It doesn't work 97% of the time. If Ford Motor Company made an automobile that exploded 97% of the time, would they still be in business? No. This is the tip of the iceberg of the control that the pharmaceutical industry has on us. Most people have no idea of this at all. Now, I wrote a book. It's called The MD Emperor Has No Clothes, right? In my book, I have a bulleted list of 10 questions that every cancer patient should ask their doctor. 10 questions. I've had patients kicked out, literally, kicked out of the oncologist's office because the doctor was PO'd that the patient was asking him these questions. And these are just common sense questions. Cancer treatment in the United States, we have lost the war on cancer. We have lost the war on cancer. Why? Because cancer is not a reductionistic phenomenon. Cancer is a holistic phenomenon. And when you try to bring a reductionistic methodology like drugs and surgery to bear on a holistic phenomenon, you will completely miss the boat each and every time. You cannot do it. Medical doctors are like colorblind art critics. They can see that that's a boat. They can see the black and white outline, but they're completely blind to all of the colors and textures that make up the substance of the thing. It's no different with cancer. The reason that people get cancer in the United States and the reason that we have completely lousy outcomes is because medical doctors are driving the research bus. When women get together and do a 5K run for breast cancer, All of that money, do you think any of that money goes to nutritional research? Do you think any of that money goes to homeopathic research or acupuncture or traditional Chinese medicine or naturopathic research? No. All of it goes to drugs and surgery, which do not work. Now, why aren't those women running for selenium? If every girl in this country took 200 micrograms of selenium in one generation, we'd eliminate breast cancer by 82%. That's a big number. Why aren't we doing that? Because medicine in the United States is a for-profit industry, and most people are completely unaware of this, and most people bow down to the altar of MD-directed high-tech medicine at their own demise.
It is indeed. Okay, let's just mention Virgin Orbit, because Virgin Orbit, of course, attempted to launch a satellite into orbit a few months ago. It failed. This was to be the first satellite launched into orbit from UK soil forever, actually. The British government absolutely bought into this and were promoting this extremely hard at the time. Now, Virgin Orbit has now said that they're laying off 85% of their staff after one failed launch, and they're going to cease operations. They couldn't raise the money, and so on. But I just wanted to have a brief laugh at this, because if we remember about how engaged the Grant Shapps and the British government were at the time, so this was Grant Shapps tweeting out that the UK government is delighted to be backing the first ever satellite launch from European soil, actually from UK soil, liftoff scheduled for Monday at Spaceport Cornwall, Newquay. The thing about it was, Patrick, that Grant Shapps put that photograph on there, but that was a fake photo.
Ooh.
Because this is what the photo actually looked like.
Oh, the original had Boris?
The original had Boris in it, and he got rid of Boris, but...
Are you serious?
I'm totally serious.
They used that?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So Grant Shapps absolutely behind Virgin Orbit, except when he wasn't, because when they needed the money, there was no money to be had, and so Virgin Orbit is effectively gone. So there you go. Anyway, a bit of sad news to end.
Yeah, so we wanted to, some people might be aware, Greg Sharkey, he founded an event series called Imperialism on Trial. He's from Derry in Northern Ireland, and he sadly passed away, I believe, a couple of weeks ago in Chamonix in France, and his funeral service was on Monday in Derry, and very sad. He had a lot of supporters, a real asset to the anti-war movement, I would say. Brought a lot of people together, staged some fantastic events. He was a real warrior, an absolute warrior, and left behind, I think, made a big impact. He was a cab driver by trade in Derry, but he worked really hard during his extracurricular hours to organize so many great events, not just for Imperialism on Trial, but also opposing the lockdowns and COVID policies and questioning the vaccine mandates at a time when it was quite tense in Northern Ireland on that issue, because Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland had vaccine passport policies for a while there. So, I wanted to point people to this. The only interview, I think, one of the only ones that Greg gave, I did with him over the summer, and he's talking about his life and his history and the music industry and how the politics of music and the artists change right up to till now with the vaccine issue. And it's a tremendous interview. He's very deferential, very humble in this interview, and really you can get an idea of Greg, I think, from this. We've got this posted at the top of our website here, but he'll be missed by many, very popular, and a real visible member of his community down there, over there in Derry. Okay, well look, we'll have to leave it there for today. Thank you very much for that, Patrick. Thank you, Vanessa, for joining us. We'll be back in a couple of minutes for a little bit of extra, and hope to see everybody there. If you're not a UK Column member, then we'll see you on Monday at 1 p.m. as usual. Have a great weekend. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.
I wonder what's really behind this. Now, what's behind this is, of course, the powers that be. It's quite clear. It's a membership organization, so big business pays big money and writes the agenda of Davos, the World Economic Forum. But even big business is not as powerful as those who control money. And perhaps we should talk about that next. So, because really, any business, industry, even pharmaceutical businesses that we found out, since 2020,